Yo, what's up guys, it's Wodzu here and welcome to a kind of more chill episode in which I'm gonna show you some tips how to organize your studio space, and I'm gonna tell you in which cases you will need some specific devices. So, this is how the studio looks like. Here are some keyboards, my synthesizer, here is the main desk with all the equipment, here are the electronic drums. And as you can see, everything is like in a circle. I can reach every part of my home studio sitting in this one chair. Of course, I'm changing the chair as I'm playing the drums, but you know what I mean. I am surrounded with all my stuff. This room is not like really big. It's like, I think, around 15 square meters. Here is the old school organ synthesizer section. Here is the cello. Here's some stuff, but it doesn't really matter. Let's just start from this desk, because that's the main place where I'm doing most of the things. This setup looks pretty normal, but it wasn't always like that. I used to keep this large Roland JP8000 right around here, which was terrible, and it was covering most of the desk. And this is not my main keyboard, this is just a synthesizer I'm using in some of the projects, but not like every time. So I've put my small Nektar controller right here. On the left is the pad controller, the Akai MPD280. On the right, as I'm mixing lots of stuff, is the FaderPort from PreSonus. As I'm using the mouse, I can just switch to it really easily. There's an IKEA phone stand and of course, lots of plants. Here is the main sound interface, the M-Audio Profire, and a mixer which takes the signal, for example, from this old school synthesizer or from this Korg PA1X, because I am not using this synthesizer and this Korg at the same time. This is the drum section. This is some like middle price drum set with mesh heads. I used to play drums in the past. I went back to it a few months ago, and this is definitely something I'm not gonna stop ever in my life. Here is the microphone and another big plant and some of my guitars. I keep them here because I don't want them to disturb me during the production. A few sound absorbing panels, and that's really it. Every of my past setups had something which was irritating me a lot. But this setup is just perfect, I can say. I'm switching to the right and I can use the synthesizer or the Korg. I'm switching to the left and I can play the drums. And everything here feels just cozy, and you know, I feel warm here. I feel like I'm at home. I like to surround myself with some green friends, so I am putting lots of plants around here and around here. Even here on the sound panel. Here is another section. I've put two IKEA tables, the cheapest ones, on the top of each other. I've mounted some hangers for the headphones right here. Here is my guitar amp, but I don't use it quite frequently. And the most interesting thing here is the vinyl player, because I'm sampling vinyls from time to time. This is an old school vinyl player from the Polish company called Unitra. It works perfectly. Oh, I forgot to take this off. I've put some baking paper under the vinyl so I can scratch it easily. I know it's hurting this, I don't know, how do you call it in English, but you know, this is what I'm using it for. This is not a vinyl player anymore, this is an instrument. So in my opinion, you don't have to make everything look super professional, super clean. Just make it good for you, just make yourself comfortable in your own studio, and I think that's the best tip I can just give you. And about the devices, I don't have any fancy controllers. This is just some basic Akai MPD280. I bought it used, but it's got these 16 pads, which is really good for sampling and especially playing drums. Really cheap, really good, and you can even play scales and melodies on these pads, which you can configure with the software from the Akai. This is another controller. This is the Nektar Impact LX25 Plus. It's got like the full keys, which are really big. I didn't quite knew I was buying such a big controller back then because I didn't look at the dimensions. I wanted something similar to the Akai MPK, but as it arrived, it turned out to be a pretty big controller. It's got some fancy transport functions and other pattern functions, but I use it mainly as a keyboard with some pitch bend and modulation. And this is the thing I like the most, the FaderPort. Because that's not only the fader, you know, to set the volumes. Of course, this is the main function. This is what I use the most of it. But as I am making beats, I am just turning on and off the loop function right here. I can just scroll through the project. I can write the actual automation with this fader. I can solo and mute the tracks. So this is a kind of multi-tool. You don't need it to make music, but it's really helpful as you can afford something like that. And I'm just glad I don't have to move all these faders on my screen with the mouse. This is my old school Roland JP8000. We can turn it on to show you how it looks like, how it blinks. Here you have this old school screen right here. It can make some great sounds, even the 808s, as my friend Cat the Lad showed me last time he was here. Here's the Korg PA1X, a sound bank especially for me, because it's got a bunch of cool sounds like saxophones, trumpets, accordions, guitars, percussive sounds, anything you need. And this is not like you need that kind of big devices to make your music, but I just have them. I didn't buy them, I got this one from my brother, and I've obtained this one after my uncle died a long time ago. But honestly, as you can assume, lots of the things you can make with them can be done with some better VSTs. These are the Beyerdynamic DT990 Pro. These are pretty basic headphones, open headphones for mixing. I really like them, especially because they really fit my head and I just don't feel tired after a few hours of wearing them. Besides that, I have the Adam A3X monitors, but I use the Resident Audio M8s like much more than these little guys. The interface is the M-Audio Profire 2626. It's a pretty old one, but it works perfectly. As you are making beats only and recording some guitars or vocals, you don't need that much inputs, but I have these synthesizers and stuff, so everything is plugged in and I don't have to unplug one to play another. And what are your ideas to improve your creative space? Tell me what works the best for you in the comment section down below. And I know you hear it in most of YouTube videos, but this is the only way you will get the notifications about new releases, and my videos will show up on your main page, not only in the subscriptions page, as well as all the activity under this video, like thumbs up, stuff like that, improves the video's performance, so more people will be able to see it. New videos on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, and new beats on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So there's definitely going to happen a lot on this channel through the whole week. My name is Dominik, you are watching Wodzu Beats, and keep the good vibes alive!